It's the Rhett Walker Band and Say Hello. You're on Rise and Shine with Matt and Phil. And joining us in the studio is my good friend, Pastor Rob Simpson. He oversees the Queensland and Northern Territory region of the Wesley Methodist Church, about 45 churches or so. And he's just been sharing that 23 kids came to Christ at a youth camp. How good is that?
So exciting. And you're wearing the T-shirt. We'll get a shot up onto the website, Facebook page. Yeah. But tell us, what was the theme of the camp?
Theme was from Ephesians 3:20-21, which short is, we had more 24. It was infinitely more. So, now Tim is able to do infinitely more than you can ask or imagine according to God's power at work within us.
Amen.
And there's an infinity symbol there. And
yes.
I said even my kids would think that was cool. Well
that is
done.
Very cool. Very good. Now, we've been talking a lot about, ministries that are helping the homeless. And you used to be pastoring at Maryborough and did a bit of work there among the people that are struggling with homelessness. Tell us a bit about what that looked like.
Yeah, so I was there for 18 and a half years, and a number of years into my time there, God actually started talking to me about what we were doing outside of ourselves, outside of our own church.
Yeah, good.
And he asked me this tough question, right? Like, if you just moved into Maryborough as a non-believer, and you saw your church, so Life Church was the name of my church, Life Church in Maryborough. If you saw that, what would you think about it? And I mulled that over for a while, but I came up with the answer that ultimately I had to say that was something that existed for itself.
Wow.
That everything we did was about, the youth that came to it, the children, the seniors that come to us, we run things for them. And so we looked hard at some needs in the community. We ended up starting a food bank, and that food bank in Maryborough with a population of about 28,000 people, 10,500 households, they say. 3,000 households are members at our food basket.
Wow.
And rely somewhat on the food that we bring in, which is a lot, by the way, to help with their weekly grocery needs. So we're pumping something like, I don't know right now, but something like 30 pallet loads of food or more, 30 to 50 pallet loads a week.
Wow, amazing, so good.
And do you find those regional communities perhaps have quite a big need?
Yeah, Maryborough is, I think at the time, it was the second highest youth unemployment behind Ipswich.
Wow.
And so pretty high unemployment, very low income. Like the average income was if you look that up, it was a bit shocking. And so, there's this whole class of people that we discovered called the working poor, like people with jobs, but they might not be full-time, they might be labourers and not high income. And, if you've got a bunch of kids and you're trying to, pay rent or buy a house or whatever it happens to be, it's hard to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And so we were helping out with, everyone from the working poor to the unemployed to, people on pensions and so on and homeless.
And I know that the Wesley Methodist Church is all around doing a lot of work. There's a church near me, Phil, called Hills Church.
Okay.
And a friend of mine used to be the pastor there, Lex Akers. He's now in Sydney, mutual friend of ours. And he was telling me once that they had a Kiwi receptionist. And when people would ring, she'd say, "Oh, welcome to Hills Church," which didn't really go.
You've got to be careful on the accent.
Hills Church, not Hills Church. But they've got a great op shop and they do a lot of work.
They do have a great op shop, and they do a lot of work with particularly migrant communities, so welcoming people in and helping with English classes. So, some of the stories from there are quite amazing, where people have come to an English class at the church and made friends with people from the church who are like tutoring and running those classes, and have said things like, I've been here for 10 years and I've never spoken to someone outside of my home, or never had a conversation, or never laughed, you're my first friend. And so the isolation of those migrants who come with very little or no English it's staggering, and the church can help in such simple ways.
Yeah. And there's so many groups of people, aren't there? Like you're just mentioning, we've got families, pensioners, all sorts, migrants. And I'm wondering, Rob, when you started doing that in your church, and you're actually activating Christians to look beyond the walls, and you're giving them an opportunity to volunteer and serve their community, did you notice a difference in the people who came to serve as well?
Yeah, interestingly enough, I had this idea that we needed to. It was a, can I just say, a very colonial, patriarchal kind of approach that, we need to come and help you, poor people.
Yeah.
And there's this new thought in missions about partnerships and mutuality and reciprocity. And the truth is that when we go into a community, whether that's going overseas into a mission field to bring the gospel to people, or work in your community to offer low-cost food items to those who need it, this needs to be done with respect and dignity. And the fact is, you don't have all the answers to help them. They might actually have some answers as well. And so it wasn't long before all of a sudden we've got all of these people saying, hey, we love what you're doing here. Can we help out? And initially I'm like, no, like my church people should be running this for you. But then we just kind of ran out of volunteers as the need grew, and kind of opened my eyes up to see that as we invited people from the community who were benefiting from what we were running into helping, sort the food as it comes in, price it, put it on the shelves, box it up, and all those kinds of things, we were able to actually have a greater impact on their lives because we're working right beside them than those who are just coming in, grabbing a bag of food and leaving.
Yeah,
excellent.
And they enriched our lives as well. So, dignity was huge. We wanted to not just do a hand out, but a hand up. That's a bit of a Salvation Army thing, but, happy to adopt it. It's a good saying.
Yeah.
So, the more you connect with any people group, the more you understand, the less you demonize them as far as, like, all those poor people, all those homeless people, they're doing this or that. They're just people struggling like the rest of us.
That's right, yeah, good. Fantastic. Well, Rob, it's so good to hear your experience and what you've been doing, and great to see a network of churches like the Wesleyan Methodists all around Queensland, all around Australia, doing a great work, reaching out to people for the gospel. Thanks for joining us on Rise and Shine today, Rob. God bless.
Great to be here.